Tuskegee Airmen were America's first black military pilots whose service and fight against racism helped lead to the desegregation of the United States Armed Forces. And it's believed that only one member of that group is still alive.
Nearly 1,000 pilots graduated from the program. Several dozen were from Northeast Ohio.
Yes, they were. And I recently met a group of teenagers from the Cleveland School of the Arts who are painting a tribute to those trailblazers. Their work started with some research at the library at the Western Reserve Historical Society. These black and white photos,
All very serious, stoic, because they understood the big assignment they had.
capture some of the men from the Cleveland area.
My father was born and raised in Oberlin, Ohio, and was educated in Oberlin, graduated from Oberlin College.
Who, starting in the early 1940s, were part of a military program in Tuskegee, Alabama, to test if blacks had what it took to be combat pilots and support personnel.
And they prevailed through the use of their intelligence, through their bravery, and through a determination.
Thomas Cargill's father, Gilbert Allen Cargill, was among them.
His ascension and his desire to flying really started as a small child.
A man who became a second lieutenant in the Army, and as a primary flight instructor, he taught nearly 1,000 fighter pilots. Tuskegee Airmen who served in World War II and were sought after because of their exceptional skills and combat record.
To the man, I could say they love this country. They love this country dearly.
Stories students at the Cleveland School of the Arts, with each sketch and stroke of a paintbrush,
leave these so that you don't lose them,
are bringing to life on canvas for the Cleveland Heroes Project. The pieces are stunning, as you can see, with amazing accuracy.
I kind of feel like this might be your midtone, this is your shade, and this is your highlight.
Chloe Brand's portrait is of Captain Erwin Bernard Lawrence Jr., one of the first Tuskegee graduates who saw combat in both North Africa and Italy.
They all wanted to fly, and they all wanted to be dedicated to a place that didn't care very much for them.
She never imagined working on a project as meaningful as this.
I just hope that I like it and people who see it can respect and like it as well.
Jason Hicks is doing Brigadier General Charles McGee's portrait.
I really think World War II is a very complex part of history that people really need to hear about.
McGee notably shot down a German fighter while escorting American bombers over Czechoslovakia.
He fought for our country and fought for his freedom as an African American.
Each individual piece of art will be showcased locally and will also be incorporated into a larger mural honoring the aviators.
You just gotta try, hon.
Art teacher Brittany Quinn told me that her students' research really struck a chord.
A lot of these airmen were only a few years older than them when they enlisted, and many of the airmen were also living really close to the school where they come every day.
Have the students felt a lot of pressure?
Even though they've been excited, I know that they feel the pressure, especially just in having a gallery show, first of all, to celebrate the works. They're nervous about that, but that's a part of being an artist. There's a productive struggle.
And here's an early look at Gilbert Cargill's portrait. He died in 2004. His son is proud of the students' investment, saying it keeps his father's and all Tuskegee Airmen's legacies alive.
And we will get a manifestation some way, somehow they will let us know that we have done the right thing.
Talk about talent there. The North Coast chapter of Tuskegee Airmen, Inc. is spearheading this project. The students, they have an exhibition happening on February 28th at their school, the Western Reserve Historical Society, and the Justice Center downtown. They have plans to display the portraits in the future. And as for that mural, it is expected to be unveiled later this year in a prominent location. I'll be sure to let you know when those details get finalized. But Tuskegee Airmen, not only the pilots, about 14,000 to 19,000 people were part of the support team. Other crew members, nurses, mechanics, you name it, they did it.
I hope other family members of the Tuskegee Airmen, like the son did there in your story, get to see those images too. I'm excited that we all get to see them as they'll be on display too. They're
really
fabulous.
Takes your breath away.
They're fabulous. Great art pieces of work.
An important part of our history, and those kids are so darn talented, my goodness.
A great story, Damon. Thank you.